Hey guys, it's Trisha with Upcycled Stuff. Today I'm going to show you how to make a quick pillow cover for any pillow that you might have in your house. These are also called envelope covers, and they're meant to be removable. They're like a slip cover. And I love them because they're a great way to cover any pillow that you have in your house that maybe has, gotten juice spilled on it or just doesn't match your decor anymore. Still a perfectly good pillow, you just need to update maybe the look of it. So this is a really great way to do that. Not much of a sewer. If you've watched any of my sewing tutorials, you know that I pretty much sew in a straight line and that's it. So I guarantee that that's all you have to do here is sew a couple of straight lines and you can come up with a pillow cover to match any decor that you might have. Not only is this a great way to save some pillows from going into the landfill, but I've also used the material that I'm using on the cover is actually old blue jeans. I've cut up a bunch of denim pants that had holes, tears, belt loops missing, things that I found in the thrift store. So let's get started. To make your pillow cover, you'll need a few pins. You'll need something to sew with, obviously not just a thread and needle, but you'll need a sewing machine, a pair of scissors. You'll need a piece of fabric that fits completely around your pillow form with plenty of room on the sides. I've actually just stitched together some old cotton jeans. You can use any kind of fabric. If you head down to Goodwill, you can pick up old denim and stitch it together like I did, or you can find old bedding. I found some really cute bedding that I've made pet pillows out of. I've also found fabric that people have started to make their own craft projects with and abandoned. So you can find all kinds of things at Goodwill. So take a look there before you go out and buy new. And then you'll need some kind of a pillow form. I happen to have a new pillow form that's been sitting in my closet for 2 years, so I'm going to use that today. So the first thing you're going to do is open up your fabric and put your pillow down in the center of it. So this is my design that I want on the pillow. This is the wrong side of it. And I'm going to put my pillow down inside, and I'm going to fold over my edges towards the back side of the pillow. Okay, so I'm going to fold this over a little bit, quite a bit, because I want there to be about equal amounts of the dark blue and the light blue. So I'm going to go ahead and take this to my machine and stitch a hem right here. Okay, and while I'm here, I'm going to turn my fabric over to the other end, the one that will be tucked in, and I'm going to turn this over just slightly, and I'm going to put a little hem in this just to give it a nice finished edge. And then I'm going to sew that down as well. So I'm just removing this excess hem now from where I folded over and sewn. This was extra fabric that I didn't need, just so it's not so bulky. Now take your fabric and place your pillow form in the center, get it lined up the way you'd like it to look. So now you just want to line everything up. Make sure all your fabric is lined up properly, make sure it's pulled taut underneath. You're going to take a pin and starting right up close to your pillow, you're going to pin and help mark a guide where you're going to sew your seam. So just a couple of pins to keep everything in place. And then do the same thing on the other side. And when you're pinning, you just want to make sure that you keep your edges here at the in the same place. You want to keep them together so that things don't go crooked on you. Okay, then go ahead and pull your pillow out, your pillow form, if you haven't gotten it caught in one of your pins, which I have in 2 of my pins. And then let's bring this back over to the sewing machine. And now we're just going to sew along our pin lines. Now when I pinned mine down, I made a mental note that I need to sew very close to one end of the pin. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm actually going to sew a little bit further past the pins because I know that my my pillowcase isn't very full on the edges, so here we go. Okay, so now I just want to pop my pillow back inside of what I just sewed down. Alright, so there, we have a nice tight fit. That's exactly how I want it to fit. Then you're going to take your other piece and slide it over. And we're going to do the same thing. Make sure it's nice and taut and it's the way you want it to look all around. And we're just going to pin down the edges again like we did before. So for right now, I'm just going to do a pin right here on one side because I need to get my pillow out of there so I can sew it. So I'm going to untuck. And essentially, what I should be able to do, I should be able to sew a straight line straight from what I previously have sewn. I just want to make sure that everything lines up this way. And then I'm going to take this back over to the machine, and when I do, I'm going to make sure that I sew straight over the end flap, and this will just help keep the pillow cover closed completely once I put the pillow in. So I'm going to just sew 2 straight lines like I did previously, making sure that I tack down the very end of it here. Okay, so I'm going to slide this under, and I am literally going to line up my my press-a-foot with the seam that I sewed previously, right on the edge of that flap. Okay, the last thing that we need to do is to trim off our edges so we don't have all this excess fabric inside of our pillow cover. You could just use a pair of scissors, but I work better with a rotary cutter and a straight edge. Now if you wanted to flip this inside out and make sure that your pillow fits before you cut this off, that way if you need to rip a seam, you know that you still have enough fabric to redo your pillow without cutting all new fabric. So go ahead and flip this inside out, or right side out, I guess. So far so good. And now, just as if it were an envelope, stick your pillow inside. And the beauty of this is you don't need a pattern. You don't have to like match up notches and stuff. You could do this for any size pillow. Look at that. Oh, yay, perfect. Now I'm going to add a little embellishment here, which is why I have this fun pattern. I wanted a place for it to put a flower that I'm going to make out of some denim. But that's how you make your pillow cover. So here's my finished pillow. I've just added a little flower that I've made out of some scrap denim. I've made these out of t-shirt before, so I'll leave the link below how I made that in case you're interested. But that's as easy as it is to cover up an old pillow.